it's Laura Helen, 831 Designs. Today we are back with another incredible author. Woohoo! Don't forget, if you want to be a best-selling author, if it's on your bucket list to do in 2019, we are giving away a full book deal as part of our competition. So if you want to be in it to win it, make sure that you jump on the link and enter. Way, Lauren's here. That's got to be my quickest author ad ever. She's on. Just adding Lauren now. Da, 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 da. I'll keep talking. It didn't happen as fast as I thought. But she's here, she's live, she's ready to take action. I'm super excited. Hey, Lauren!
Hi!
Lauren's in lovely California. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Why don't you tell the awesome people out there who you are and what your book is?
Yeah, so hey everybody, I'm Lauren Cecora. I am a military wife, 3.5-year-old little girl named Evelyn, and I run a postpartum blog from self-care to holistic oils, things like that. And my book is called Postpartum from Shattered to Sane, and it is my postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety journey, and then the first 5 things that I implemented in my life to start digging myself out from the trenches.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. So what inspired you? Obviously you went through that journey, but what inspired you to turn that journey into a book?
I struggled for almost a year kind of in silence. There were very few people that actually knew about anything that I was going through in postpartum. Obviously my husband knew, my boss knew at work because I was having a hard time, and a few close friends did. And I did an interview for the counseling group that I worked with to kind of help get back on my feet. And when it was kind of like a commercial that they did when it went live, they asked me to share it on my social media, which at first I was like, there's no way I'm sharing this. I don't want to tell anybody that I've been suffering through this. I was really ashamed about what I had kind of gone through. And my sister reminded me that the whole reason I did the interview for them was to help other people. And what if there's even more people that sharing the video could help? And so I shared it on my Facebook shortly before my daughter turned 1, and my Facebook just kind of blew up. I got so many messages from women that one had no idea, but it wasn't just that nobody had any idea that I was struggling. I was getting Me Too stories. Like, I completely understand what you're feeling because that's exactly how I've been feeling. I thought this was normal. I thought this was what motherhood was. I thought this was just how I was supposed to feel now that I was a mother. And so more and more people just kind of started asking me for help and advice. And I was listening to a podcast one day, and they were like, if you are getting asked the same thing over and over and over again, you should write a book about it. And I was like, well, I guess I can write a book about what I'm doing because I just keep repeating this to people. And so then it would just kind of make it easier that I can just share my book with people instead of having to always chat with people one-on-one. Just basically being like, these were the first 5 things, and once you get through those things, then I have even more resources for you after that. So, yeah.
That's so awesome. I love it. The passion to help is so cool. Make sure before the video ends or at the end of the video, you put in your link to your book so people know where to find it so they can go grab it. I know a lot of mums suffer in silence, especially new mums. They're just so overwhelmed. You have this life to deal with, like this new baby boy or new baby girl, and you don't know which way is up. No one really gives you a guidebook. You have to just kind of go for it. You don't know what's normal, what's not. Oh. Seems to have lost you there for a second. I'm hoping you're going to come back. Nope, she's gone. I can see you smiling, but you're not moving. Oh, and she's dropped off. I don't know if her signal's cut out or not very good. Hopefully she'll rejoin us again in a minute and she can carry on telling us her awesome story, why she's sharing it, how it's such a passionate thing to help mummies, especially new mummies. It's really great getting out there and helping them. It's frozen. Okay, so hopefully she can come back on. I'm back. You're back. Why is it not letting me add you? There we go. Let's add Lauren back on again. She disappeared for a moment, so we're going to add her back on.
Oh my goodness, I'm so
Yay,
sorry. I do not have the greatest service where we live, and I'm usually connected to Wi-Fi, so I think it bumped me off. So I'm so sorry about that.
The good thing is, when it bumped you off, you were smiling.
Yeah, yay!
So you hate it when it freezes and you're like...
Yeah, because that's really embarrassing when that happens, so...
So that's really awesome. So yeah, I was saying, like, for new mums, anything that can help a new mum understand what's normal, where they should get help for. Because mums, I think they have such pressure to be the best mum they can be. Some mums don't reach out or ask for help because they, yeah, like you say, they don't know what's normal, what isn't normal. New mums have no idea. No one tells you this stuff when you get pregnant.
Yeah, it's so true. Nobody talks about any of it. And then I think a lot of us lack having a local community. And so, you know, when our mothers and grandmothers were having babies, they were surrounded by people that kind of helped them in the process. And for us, we're a military family, so we don't live anywhere near family. And so there's nobody here kind of helping you through the trials and tribulations and making you feel good about what you're doing and saying, this is normal, the baby's supposed to cry. So I think a lot of women feel really alone and really lost. And it's just a hard thing that a lot of women go through. So
I love that you can share that. So what would, if they could take away just one piece of advice from your book, what would you say it is?
Trust yourself more than other people. I think as a new mom, I felt certain things were wrong, and I was too busy listening to everybody else's advice, even the doctor, and thinking that I was really the person that was doing it wrong, when with my gut, I wasn't going with what my gut was right. And had I just listened to that from the beginning and had that personal strength to be like, no, and stand up for myself, I think things would have gone a whole lot smoother for me in the beginning. You might not have that motherly instinct knowing exactly what to do with your baby, but if something's telling you to do something, like your gut, your soul is telling you to do something, to run with that and just negate everybody else's opinion on it, is what I would tell people.
I think this is why people that have more than one kid get really, really incredible each time they have a kid. Because that first time you have a baby and you have that new mum thing, I remember just feeling like, oh my gosh, and then I had all these midwives talking to me about breastfeeding, and it just was so hard and so wrong. And I actually reached out, which was way out of my comfort zone, went to a group of mummies, and they were like, oh, don't worry about all the technical stuff, put it on, if it works, that's it. And as soon as I relaxed, got out of my head about all the technical stuff and just did it, it clicked, and it was like, oh, why didn't I just do that?
Yeah. It's true. It's such a breath of fresh air when you're like, oh, I don't have to Google 20 different things what this might mean. And you're like, okay, my baby's crying, I'll just pick them up and, oh, look, they're happy.
Yeah, no, I think it's super awesome that you put this book out, especially for first-time mums, because you can't explain, unless you've been there, how everything changes, life changes, your world changes, your health changes. Everyone's like when you're breastfeeding and you can't quite manage because it hurts, and your husband's like, if they miss one meal, it's fine. To them, you're right, if the baby misses one meal, it will be fine. But as a new mum, you're like, I failed! Oh my god, I can't even feed my baby.
It's true. You get so overworked thinking that one tiny thing is just going to ruin them. When in actuality, my kid's 3 and I still hit her head on the car door when I'm putting her in the car. So, and she's fine.
Oh dear. Which is why I think when people have more than one, they go second time round, oh, it's easy, because they haven't got that stress, they haven't got their pressure. They've got one and it's still alive, so it's all good, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like you just get more lax about everything. You don't worry about having to stick to a schedule and having to stick to specific feedings, and you just kind of go with the flow. I feel like parents that have more than one kid just adapt a whole lot easier to whatever the situation is at hand, when as a first-time mom, the baby literally consumes you because you want to do it right. You don't want to screw it up. But the secret is that that's what everybody wants. People just kind of let the small stuff go, and instead you just focus on the big stuff. So yeah, but it can be hard for a first-time mom for sure.
It really can. I think mums should totally get out there. Like you say, you're a military family. We moved around a lot before we had kids, so we didn't have that community, that family. I think you have to push yourself out of it. I know you feel completely alone against the world, but I think you have to kind of push yourself out of that and go find other mums. Mums need to be real with each other and be like, oh, I'm finding this difficult, because as soon as you be honest and open, they'll go, oh my God, me too.
Yeah, every mom is dealing with the exact same thing, and every mom's going through the exact same thing. And so it's nice when you put yourself out there with other moms for you to realize that everybody else is just like you. I mean, half the time at kid drop off, I look like I basically just rolled out of bed, when in actuality, I'm getting ready to go to the gym, but so does every other mom there.
Which I think is so reassuring for a new mum to hear, because new mums don't tell each other, they just, yeah, everything's fine, my baby's awesome, yeah. Really, it's like, oh, it hurts when I feed, they don't sleep, they cry at this.
Yeah, and everybody's like, yeah, my kid cries all the time too. And so you need some sort of local community. If you don't have family nearby, you definitely need a group of friends that's going through either a similar phase with parenting, whether you surround yourself with people around kids the same age as your kid, or other people who have been there, done that, so that they can remind you that that's just a phase, and then in like another week you're going to be stressed out about something completely different, and that this is not the thing to get all wrapped up in. But I definitely think everybody needs some sort of local community, a group of friends, a support group, church group, mom's group, whatever it is. Everybody needs something local that you can actually see people in the flesh to kind of help you with that.
That is so important, because I joined a toddler group with my little boy when I first had him, and I'd be quietly sitting down freaking out about something, and then someone else with a similar age kid would go, oh my God, this is happening this week, and they go, oh, it's because it's this month, that happens at this month, and you're sitting there going, whew, I did nothing wrong, this is normal.
You're like, didn't even need to spend time.
Comparison,
yeah,
if you have that, you just don't have any clue if you don't have that comparison, or someone to just kind of say, yeah. I had one awesome friend, and she's got like 3 boys, all older than ours, and I was like, oh my God, this is happening. And she's like, so blasé, like, oh yeah, that'll happen. Give it a week, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And as a new mum, you're going, okay. But there's so much a part of you that goes, okay.
Yeah, it's reassuring.
Even doctors aren't as reassuring as another mum.
No, and most of the time the doctors were just kind of like, they're fed, they're hitting their milestones, they're fine. And you're like, but no, really, I'm freaking out about this.
Bless them, they must see so many crazy mums every single day where we're like, oh my God, I'm so worried. And like, yep, they're healthy, they're breathing, they're fed, it's all good.
Yeah. They're all like, go home, keep doing what you're doing. You're like, no, really, I want a solution to this. And they're like, I don't have one, you're the mom.
So do you now help mums? Do you coach mums and help mums through this stuff? Like you said about they have the 5 tips. After that, do they reach out to you and then you help them go through it more?
Yeah, so I help women specifically if they want like some holistic alternatives. So my husband and I are both essential oil educators. So my bread and butter is anything with stress, anxiety. Since I manage my anxiety without medication, I kind of help women that are looking for some more natural alternatives and things like that. And I do things more than just like essential oils. I help people with all sorts of stuff, from like cycle syncing to like switching out products in your home to more natural base, so they're not like interacting with your hormone levels, and sharing resources. And I feature a lot of health professionals on my blog that give like tips and suggestions about other things as well, just to kind of shed light to some other things, but tons of free resources on my website. And then if you want more in-depth to say, I'm struggling with my anxiety, I'm struggling with my sleep, I'm angry all the time, then I can definitely help people with essential oils and things like that. So
that is so cool. Well, make sure you put your link in for the book and how people can reach out and connect with you, because if you did, now you have kids. Especially when they start, like yours is age 3, so they're like climbing up on everything now, right?
yeah, she's thankfully not a huge climber, but she's got a lot of energy. And I think naps are basically over in our house. So I have a 3.5-year-old that doesn't nap anymore. So
so it's constant, it's on the go, and it's so much fun. Well, I'm super excited. I'm so glad that you shared this book. I think it's amazing and will help so many new moms just kind of get out of their own way, get out of themselves, share with other mummies, and just realize this stuff is all normal. It happens to the
yes.
best of us. I think it's a really beautiful thing what you've done. Thank you so much for sharing. Make sure you put your links in. Check out her book, people. And I look forward to connecting again soon. Thank you so much, Lauren.
Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. Have a great day, guys.
You too. Thank you.